In this video, I'm going to show you how to add files, add templates or documents to your loop. In this case, we're getting ready to create an offer. We have created our loop, we have set our details, and now we are going to add some documents that we need to our initial documents folder. I've just opened my folder with a click. And these are the files that by default are provided to me when I have created my loop. I have a placeholder for the MLS printout. I have a placeholder for the public record because these are required. I have a copy of a blank as-is contract, a wire fraud notice, an energy efficiency brochure, because as you know, at the bottom of page 4, the contract states that the energy efficiency brochure has been received by the buyer. I have a placeholder for the pre-approval. I want you to notice that the placeholders are gray and files are black. I have a residential buyer checklist. This is going to be extra guidance for you in case you are unsure of what you need. And this is the Dalton Wade buyer disclosure. It is also a required file. It is filled with fantastic information. These are the files that we have. We are going to add the files that we need. To add a document to a folder, you're just going to click the Add Document button next to the folder wherein you want to add the document. So I have clicked the Add Document button, and these 3 windows have automatically popped up on my screen. One says Templates, one says Browse, and one says Email. Templates are going to be the forms provided to us from within the .loop system. So if I need to add a form or a template from the .loop system, I would click this button. If I want to upload something from my computer, I would click the Browse button. If I have an email with some attachments that I want to add to this folder, I would choose the Email button. Let's start by adding the MLS printout, the public record, and the attachments that we downloaded from our MLS. Because we downloaded them on our computer, we are going to click Browse. A window is going to pop up, guiding us to our computer, where we can select the files that we want to add. I'm going to select the FERPTA disclosure, the condominium disclosure, the seller's property disclosure, the broker's synopsis, which is the MLS sheet, and the tax record, which is the public record, the IMAP record. These are all of the files that I downloaded to my computer. I have browsed, I've selected them. Now I'm going to click Open. The system is going to upload them for me. And for now, I'm going to close my Add Document windows just by clicking Add Document. Click. Here are the files that I have added. Now, maybe you noticed I have placeholders for a printout and a public record, and here they are up here. Oh boy, what do I do? Are they in the wrong place? It is very easy to move them. We are going to drag and drop the broker synopsis onto the MLS printout. Watch this. Take your mouse, hover over the file that you want to move, in this case the broker synopsis. You are looking for the 4 arrows that pop up. When you see them, you can click your mouse and drag. We are dragging the broker synopsis down to the MLS printout placeholder because that's where we want to place it. When we get there, we just release it, release our mouse button, and it's going to add it right to that placeholder. Notice it went from gray to black. It now has a file behind it. Let's do the same thing with the public record. Take your mouse to the file, the document that you want to move. When you see the 4 arrows, left click your mouse button and drag. When you get to where you want it to go, and it is particular, you might have to practice, drop it. There it is. That is how we add a document with a browse. To close the Add Document window, we click it again and it closes. Next, we are going to add a template. In this case, the template that we are going to add is because we are related to the buyer. We need to disclose that. There is a form for that, so we are going to click Add Document. And this time it's a form. It's in the system. We are going to initiate it. We are going to fill it out. So we're going to go to Templates. This is our Templates pop-up. On the left, you see folders. Each of these folders contain templates, forms, files of all kinds. If you want to look at them, you can do that. We'll go through them now. These are your personal. You can make your own templates. So first we're going to notice there's a commission disbursements folder. If you click it, you will see the folders, the files inside of this folder on the right. Lead-based paint. We click lead-based paint. We see the lead-based paint files on the right. Training and office materials and the files contained there. We see them listed on the right. MLS forms. All the MLS forms contained here. We see listed on the right. If you wanted to add any of these to your loop, you would just click the box. These are our seller's property disclosures, our HOA condo CDD add-ons. Here's a folder containing our FHA VA addendum. Now this is a folder containing common closing documents, and a lot of these, I want you to notice, are gray. They're placeholders. So this is just going to help you build a closing documents folder if you ever needed to do that. Common addenda. This contains all of our common addenda. If I'm searching and I think, maybe the licensee interest in property would be in common addenda, maybe it's condom, I can use the search bar at the top and I can start to type in the name. Just type in a tidbit of the name and it'll search for anything with that sequence of letters. Here it's come up with the licensee interest in property disclosure. I want you to notice when I hover my mouse over the name, the pop-up shows me the entire name of the document. This is the addendum, licensee disclosure of personal interest in property rider. These names are hard to remember. That's why I encourage you just to type in a few letters that you believe are going to be in the title, because it takes a long time to learn the actual titles and then they change them anyway. So just do the best you can. I also want to point out in particular, at the end of the document name, it's going to help you. It's going to tell you which contract it matches up to. This one matches up to the FAR/BAR contract. The FAR/BAR contract is the as-is contract. This is the addendum we want, so I'm going to check it. Other folders this contains is the list-based package. In case you ever needed to build your own listing folder, this is going to help you. It's just here for your help. This is your accepted offer folder. Items that you would commonly find in your accepted offer folder. It's going to help you build a listing folder if you ever needed to do that. This is your base buyer package. It's going to help you build a folder. Why might you? This one you might need. If you are the listing agent and you're the buyer's agent, you might need to build your own buyer folder because you're going to use the same loop. So you're going to need to build it. Here's your accepted offer, things that you might find there. Most of these are placeholders. They're grayed out. Lease documents. Lease listing documents. This is the non-as-is contract. These are seller side contract templates. I will show you what that means in the training entitled Preparing Files for Signature. There's also a separate training called Applying Templates. We have our buyer side contract templates. Again, these are interesting folders and they have their own training and also an overview of using these folders will be contained in the training entitled Preparing Files for Signature. I want to draw particular attention to your Dalton Wade custom forms. These forms are all of the Dalton Wade forms. All of the forms we have modified for you. Next is the Florida, don't worry about the doc spot, but Florida Interactive Forms contains all Florida contract forms. They have not been altered in any way. This is a link directly to the Florida Interactive Forms. The first time you access it, you will need to supply your MLS number. So the message here is when you add a template, if you can't find it in the folders up here, if you just can't find them, then they are either going to be in the Florida Interactive Forms if they're a contract. Remember the search feature, you can search. Or they're going to be in Dalton Wade custom forms. I'm hoping that you're noticing that the Dalton Wade custom forms does include an exemption request. If we have a required file in your loop that you really don't need, for example, the MLS, the broker synopsis, the MLS sheet, and it's a for sale by owner. Well, there isn't one. That's an exemption request. That will come in handy in that case. In this case, we just needed the licensee interest in property. We have selected it from our common addenda. We know that because the number 1's here. We click copy. It's going to add it to our loop. I'm going to close my add document window and I'm going to notice that my licensee disclosure of personal interest, it's there. The last way to add a document to your folder is via email. It is very common for a lender to send us a pre-approval. So we're going to add that from our email. That might be a very useful example as to why you might email something in. Another example might be if a listing agent has sent you a fully executed copy of something via your email, you might then need to use this feature. We're going to start with the add document, go to email, copy to clipboard, and then we are going to go to our email and we are going to find the document that we want to forward over. So right now I'm just looking for that document. Please bear with me. As soon as I see it, I'm going to open it. I'm going to click forward. Forward maintains the integrity of a document. I'm going to paste, and I'm going to send. Always make sure you forward. I have sent my email. Now I'm going to close my add document. It might take a minute or so for that document to come over. I can just refresh my screen. Here it is. I'm just going to drag it and drop it, just like we saw earlier, onto the placeholder, and there it is. And that is how you add documents to a folder, either templates, browsing, or email.